We've got ourselves a very active jet stream pushing on into the west and ejecting in moisture and warmth across much of the country right now, especially across the central and east. Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Brian Ivy here with you for your snowplow news and Norcast weather video. We got severe weather chances across portions of the Ohio Valley as we go throughout your Thursday. All right, it's a sign of things to come as spring is here, and this is going to bring in more multiple waves of energy as we start to transition that late winter, early spring pattern potential storm as we go into the end of the weekend, early next week. More energy coming on in from the west, and that will be with us every 2 to 3 days or so. We have the chance for an organized system. This is the system here for your Thursday. This is going to slide out of the middle portion of the country. Plenty of activity sliding right now across portions of California and the Sierra Nevada, the Cascades. This system drops down a little bit as well. We're going to get warm air, and this is where that severe weather threat will take place as we go in towards later Thursday with all this warm air and moisture. Rainfall off towards the east, and then we do have a corridor of some mixing that will be around and changing over to snow up into portions of eastern Quebec, New England, and this trough will allow for some snow showers and eventually lake effect as we go on in towards portions of the weekend. A fading system running into high pressure as it goes on into the plains that's going to feature more dry air. There's the system across portions of your Saturday. We'll look ahead here in just a tiny bit, but yeah, nice moisture feed. You don't typically see a 60 dew point up to the I-70 corridor in February, but nice ejection of high dew points, and that's where that severe weather threat comes from. But it doesn't last long. Much drier air on the backside of a cold front does push its way on in as we go on in towards the weekend, and we're back to regularly scheduled, more wintry business. We'll show you those temperatures here in just a little bit. Rainfall wise, yeah, we'll add it up. Some spots certainly need it. Other spots are generally okay. We'll take it across portions of the east. Some areas picking up a good solid ½ inch to upwards of localized near an inch. Plenty of activity as we go in towards the second portion of the weekend and next week, coming out of areas of the west into the mountain region, and that's needed. Ski resorts are going to love it for sure as multiple different signals move across. We got a little lake effect into the Great Lakes, and then watch for this developing system as we go in towards portions of your Monday across portions, maybe Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, Appalachians. We'll see if this develops a secondary low pressure that's going to push off the coast, turn into a nor'easter or not, but looking like at least some activity that will be around with some trapped moisture. Then cloud cover is going to be scoured out slightly. We're going to be nice and warm and dry across the middle portion of the country, system into the northwest, and more snow here into the northern plains, upper Midwest area, sliding across the UP of Michigan as we go on in towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, plenty of snowfall, that's for sure. Look at that. How about feet and feet of snow out across portions of the west? Even into the lower elevations, still a few to several inches are looking likely, and significant snowfall with that enhancement into the UP with this next couple of systems. Just a couple inches further south into the Great Lakes. Could see a few inches of snow depending on how things develop, maybe into the Ohio Valley. And this is just kind of a blend of multiple different computer models, so not necessarily set in stone, but could see a few inches potentially into the Mid-Atlantic and New Jersey, New York City area, definitely more into Boston and Montreal. There's the big time warmth as we go throughout your Thursday. Widespread 60s and 50s will be very common. Plenty warm far south, but different story. Montana in towards portions of North Dakota. This colder air will filter its way on in. It stays warm generally into the southeast, but much colder air as we go on in towards the weekend, ending this warm spell. Now, it's not going to stay cold. There's no major Arctic air getting on in, but we will definitely see a cooler temperature regime at that point as we go in towards the middle portions of next week. So the warm air remains across the middle portion of the country, but the west is staying a little bit cool. The east will definitely be a little bit cool, and kind of around that will be more in the way of near average type temperatures. Definitely wet as we showed you across portions of the next 6 to 10 days around Chicago to St. Louis to New York or so. Still very wet with multiple waves coming on into the west, but it's going to be drier off towards the deep south. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.